Hello beautiful people of TOPWAR, welcome to an episode in which I will gonna analyze SARA, by the way, the sister of Mr. Quily, based on the announcement made by River Game today. And obviously I will gonna make an extra episode in which we're gonna compare these two heroes, but then with numbers, in order to highlight even better the difference between these two heroes. And if you allow me actually to start with a resume of the difference between these two heroes, or what is my expectation, well, from the level 5 exclusive skill perspective, I expect an extremely tight race between Quily and SARA, while SARA can be tiny better, which won't justify replacing Quily with level 5 with SARA, especially for a lot of players, for which it takes a long time to get the required universal charts and the skill charts, and of course for the players which can afford and are aiming for the level 7 exclusive skill, yeah, you're in for your money, because that's exactly where you're gonna see a massive difference between Quily level 7 and SARA level 7, SARA being actually stronger. But good, let's start at the beginning, because yeah, both heroes are exclusively only for the Navy, and both heroes are support heroes, giving you, in this case SARA, 68% HP, and when you have a look on the other side, you see here 70.8, but that's not actually the default version of Mr. Quily, because if you click on this button, here we go. This is the default version of the HP boost for Quily, 65%. And yes, indeed, it goes up to 70.8 in my case, simply because of my Hero War stats. And yes, indeed, both heroes actually benefit from the Hero War stats. Good, let's keep Quily in this default version. Both heroes actually have an active skill and a passive skill. So let's start actually with the active skill. Because in the case of SARA, after every regular attack coming exclusively from the army units, so yeah, don't use your encyclement units, don't use SARA with planes or with Navy, there is a chance to trigger 4 attacks on 4 random slots, not different slots, random slots, and each will deal 60% damage. So that brings us to 240% damage. And let's have a look on Quily, because he only has 3 hits, but his damage is actually 80%, making Quily and SARA at this point absolutely equal. Good, let's analyze the passive skill, and I will actually want to start this time with Quily, because after every regular attack from the units, it will apply a magnetic pulse of the value of 40%, but only to 2 targets. And when we have a look at SARA, she also will apply this magnetic pulse with the same value, 40%, but this time it's gonna be minimum on 2 targets, but if you're lucky, you can actually apply it on 3 random targets. And at this point, Quily's passive skill description is done, but we're actually not done with SARA, and it's gonna be a bit more complicated, so please pay attention. If a target already has the maximum amount of stacks of this magnetic pulse, and here you have to pay attention, coming exclusively from SARA, not from other heroes with runes and so on, any further application of magnetic pulse, again, coming from SARA, which will exceed this cap of magnetic pulses per slot, it will be instead 10% magnetic pulse damage. A very interesting design. Good, so this is the default version of Quily versus SARA. Now let's add on top the exclusive skills. And I'm gonna scroll up like this, because I will gonna need the passive skill to be on the screen. And we obviously not gonna approach the level 3 exclusive skill, it's always the same thing. But now to the level 5 exclusive skill. So the magnetic pulses coming from Quily is gonna be increased by 1. So now he also gonna have 3 magnetic pulses, just like you see it here, and this magnetic pulse value is going to be improved to 60%, because per default this hero gets a value of 40%. With the level 5 it's now going to be a 60%, so crystal clear, a 20% increase. Now when we have a look at the level 5 exclusive coming from SARA, the magnetic pulses will now going to be applied on minimum 3 targets, just like Quily, but you also have a chance to actually apply it on 4 random targets, and of course the value remains the same, just like for Quily. The magnetic pulse will gonna be improved to 60%, and you can see it right here, the value is 40%, so just a 20% increase. So to stop a second right now, my expectation based on the description coming from River Game is these two heroes are pretty equal to each other, especially when it comes down to the level 5 exclusive skill. But yeah, for those players which actually aim for level 7 exclusive skill, the difference is going to be far more noticeable, as SARA is going to be far stronger. So now the magnetic pulses applied by SARA is going to be minimum 4, but maximum 5, and you're starting with 2, maximum 3. And also this extra magnetic pulse damage of 10%, well, now it's going to be 40%. So increase from 10% extra magnetic pulse damage if you have reached this maximum stacks of magnetic pulse coming exclusively from SARA is now going to go from 10% to 40%, which is, yeah, a pretty noticeable buff. So beautiful people, this is pretty much everything for this episode. And of course, you can expect me to do one extra episode tomorrow once this Hero SARA is released, because I also want to show you guys with the numbers, okay, where exactly is the difference? Because when we are analyzing these heroes, the main question of the players is actually, should I replace Quily with SARA? For the players which are aiming for maximum level 5 exclusive skill, I don't see the reason to change it. But of course, we're gonna see that in tomorrow's episode, the difference in numbers. And of course, when it comes down to the level 7 exclusive skill, sure, it's always wonderful, but level 7 also means for me, especially if you are a new player, you can get a march for tanks, for planes, and for navy, hopefully with the right heroes. But all those 9 heroes will actually gonna have a level 5 exclusive skill, which is always very solid performance improvement. And as always, if you guys have questions or things to add, you know exactly where the comment section of this episode is. And obviously, if you want to support me, you don't need any money for that. All you have to do is subscribe to this channel. Obviously, watch my videos till the end. It's up to you if you want to use the like or dislike button. And of course, share this channel with your friends if they are still playing Top War. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Out on the battlefield, ready to rise. Timmy's got the knowledge, yeah, he's the prize. Heroes stand strong with their gear so tight. Pets and runs power up, we're ready to fight. Timmy will help you in Top War, you know. With heroes, gear, pets, watch your army grow. For the power, gear for the might. Best smart setups, ready for the fight. Struggling to win, just call on Timmy. He knows the combos to make you feel gritty. From Navy to Army and Air Force in the sky, Timmy's got the secrets to help you fly high. Timmy will help you in Top War, you know. With heroes, gear, pets, watch your army grow. Runes for the power, gear for the might. Best smart setups, ready for the fight. Stack up your march, get the buffs aligned. Timmy's strategies are one of a kind. No more guessing, he's got the plan. Build your empire, be the man. Timmy will help you in Top War, you know. With heroes, gear, pets, watch your army grow. Rules for the power, gear for